Hi, I'm SP. Video games are hard, but with enough effort, we can figure them out. So what does it take to be good at a fighting game? I started to learn Street Fighter 6 to figure exactly that out. So far, I think I've got a pretty good grasp of the fundamental skill set, and that helped me get Ryu to gold. But to push myself to learn different parts of the game, I thought it would be a good idea to learn a different character. Looking at the roster of characters, I was drawn towards playing Cammy. I felt that a high speed and close range playstyle would help me understand how to play more aggressively, a necessary aspect of any sort of fight. But there was one aspect in particular about Cammy that I really liked. Kitty. As a fan of animals myself, I relate to her fondness of cats. Taking advantage of what I learned from playing Ryu, I was able to streamline much of the discovery journey by getting familiar with reliable combos for various common situations. Once I felt comfortable with the general game plan, the first hurdle was to complete my placement matches. From there, I would be able to decide on my overall goal. Let's go! Oh, you're 1 health though. There we go, that'll do. Major deja vu on this one. Okay. Oh no! No way. Oh no way, that just kills. Nice. I forget that that works sometimes. And she immediately leaves. Wow. I was already having much greater success with my placement matches than I did with Ryu. Considering I was playing on a new character, my expectations were that I would be placed somewhere mid-silver. Before long, I started to get matched up against opponents very close to my previous goal, alerting me to the possibility that I might have to set a much higher goal for myself this time around. Oh my god, what are you doing, man? No, I hit the button, come on, man. Okay, straight into level 3, I guess. You want to be careful with that. Put me too low and you might be killing yourself. Oh my god. Don't kill me now, man! I messed up my combo. I would have killed. You'd be super dead. The completely wrong thing. Nice! I got in a single game. Nice. First time I've hit that combo. That was bad, that was bad, that's bad for me. Oh no! I'm messing up my combos like so bad. Like things I should not ever be doing, right? And I shouldn't ever be doing that either. How is that ever? Oh my god. I'm not trying to combo, man. Don't do that. Nice. I didn't even need to use my super meter. That was bad. Oh no. Not entirely punished. That's very awkward for me. Help! I win. Not risking it, just doing it, just going for the kill. Nice. Where does that put me, I wonder? Gold. How many stars? 4? It's a little bit higher than I was expecting. I'll be honest. A little bit higher than I was expecting. Well, I suppose the goal is to get to platinum? I do not feel experienced enough as a Cammy player for this. I ended up placing way higher than expected, which gave me some mixed feelings. While it's certainly a good thing to place high, it unfortunately gave me some anxiety, a sort of imposter syndrome. Ultimately, the solution for such anxiety is to just jump back into the game until it goes away, and any wrongs will be made right. Feeling that I can't afford to fail runs the risk of amplifying any frustration I feel of the game when things inevitably don't go my way. Even now, I still occasionally struggle with basic inputs, and I don't know if or when that problem will go away. Don't worry, I'll get the combo eventually, holy shit! While I can say now that I understand the core fundamentals of the game, there's still plenty that I can learn. While I know there are plenty of things that I could be doing better at right now, those will improve with practice. What I should be doing in the meantime is finding new ways to up my game, which will take some investigative work. After all, you don't know what you don't know. I decided to utilize the in-game replay system to search for some replays that I can study and learn from. Part of the plan with learning Cammy was understanding how to play more aggressively, and so I honed in on how other players were applying aggression. What I realized is that I was neglecting much of my drive meter, and I could be applying a lot more pressure than I was. It was difficult to understand how to properly utilize Drive Rush, as using it in neutral could easily be met with a well-timed poke. It was much easier to try to find ways to cancel out of my poke into a drive cancel, so I could take advantage of the hit stun. Also, now I have the time. I want to talk about the way that the inputs work, because it's definitely not intuitive, right? Maybe I should get the diagram up. If we want to do a quarter circle forward motion, it looks like if we put a circle in as our stick, that's what a quarter circle forward looks like. So this is what you need to do a super, a level 3 super. However, in your actions, it only checks that you've done these things in the recent past. These are not like consumed actions as far as the system is concerned, meaning that we can do any sort of action that is very similar, and essentially it's like we're doing this. If we do like a quarter circle kick into a quarter circle punch, it's going to realize that we've done both quarter circles recently, and now we're trying to do a punch. Well, let's do the super instead, rather than doing what my normal quarter circle punch would look like. So, as you can see here, if I do a quarter circle forward punch, that's what it comes out as. If I do a kick, this is what it comes out as. And so if I combine it, spiral arrow, and then immediately do a normal quarter circle forward punch, it comes out as this. Yeah, it comes out as that. And we can see my inputs on the left side there. I mean, they're a little bit messy, but it's only showing that I did a quarter circle forward twice, and one of them was on the first action. They're not consumed by that action. The inputs are not consumed by that action, and will still register the super as if I did double quarter circle forward. And this is important because when we're doing combos, we want to link up certain actions together. This is something that I discovered myself. People probably already know this. While I'm at it, there's another thing I want to talk about. If we're doing an action such as crouching medium kick into a drive rush, when we're doing that, the way that we want to process that information in our brains is going to look something like 2mk into 6 into 6. That's what it looks like in numpad notation. And the way that we process this information in our brains needs to be all as one action, right? This is one action in our brains. Because if we split it up into multiple actions, well, when I say multiple actions, I mean, let's say that the brain works in this way. We do the action, we process to see how it went, and then, depending on how it went, we do a follow-up action. When we're doing something like this action, if we have any time to process how it went, then we're going to do it too slowly. Meaning that we need to skip this process result action and instead consider it all as one singular action. Don't even think about how it went, just do it as one action. If he blocks it, who cares? So sometimes he blocks and sometimes he doesn't. When we're not thinking about how the action went, we're not trying to process it, we need to have a good plan on how we react in both cases, if he reacts or not. So let's say he does block it. He always blocks it. Okay, no, so he's got like 5 frames there to react and do something else. See, I go for the heavy punch out of drive rush and he counters it because he blocked it. Meaning that this is a bit of a risky situation because we're using up 3 whole bars of our drive meter for this and it gets wasted. But if we do a jab out of it instead, meaning that this is actually safer. And these are the little things that matter when we're talking about like frame data and frame advantages. And definitely important when we're trying to go aggressive because we don't want our aggression to be countered. The general assumption I had was that much of what I needed to practice will naturally improve through normal gameplay. While this is true for some very core concepts, it will not help me improve at more specific scenarios. Fortunately, the training mode has a variety of tools to help practice those same scenarios. When performing the drive cancel combo I mentioned, it's possible to react to whether or not the attack connected or was guarded. There isn't much thinking time, but it should be possible to become more consistent at picking my follow-up correctly. I created a scenario in which Ryu would randomly guard my attacks, but would always immediately perform an OD Shoryuken on the first frame after guarding or recovering from a hit. My goal was to successfully perform the correct sequence depending on whether or not it was blocked 10 times in a row. If I fail to properly drive cancel the first move, that's a reset. If I do the save option on a successful hit, that's a reset. And of course if I get hit by the Shoryuken, that's obviously a reset. One interesting phenomenon I've noticed when playing games is that I realize I've made a mistake and I make the mental decision that I should practice that scenario more. No! If I remembered how to do my wall combo, that might have killed. But because I'm in the middle of the game and I can't drop my focus, I'll need to park that memory somewhere else and then revisit it later. Problem is, as soon as the game ends, it gets wiped from my memory. I think it's probably the same sort of phenomenon as when you walk into a room and forget why you went in there. If you can't remember what to practice, how are you supposed to learn from your mistakes? Well, I am recording, so if I remember to give commentary about that specific note, then I can revisit that later. But I also have another potential solution. By playing against an AI during training, like an ordinary match, I can easily pause and practice any scenario as it occurs. AI is generally not a good practice partner since there's a pretty noticeable difference between how an AI plays and how a human player plays. But it's probably the easiest workaround I have. After a day of playing games off stream, I stopped myself on a massive win streak right as I was one win off of pushing into Platinum. Put me against a Marisa, man. Ugh. Blah. Nice! Nice reversal. I'm pressing wrong buttons! Not the time for that, please! I did not think that was gonna happen. If I get hit, I'm dead, but... Nice! That'll do it! Woo! And that's a wrap, for now. I think it's safe to say that I figured out all sorts of useful tools that I can now apply to all sorts of different scenarios. So I think I'll feel a little bit more confident at the game. Platinum can be a bit of a grind, so I think I'll be some time still until I can push into Diamond. In many different games, I feel that Diamond represents the level in which people become competent at the game. And at that point, the game starts to feel a lot more competitive. I feel that there's still plenty of aspects like playstyles and different vulnerabilities that I'm not familiar with yet. So it's back to exploration for me. And of course, I'll be back here again to tell you all about what I've learned. You can find me occasionally streaming on Twitch. Please do come, I need the social interaction, and of course you may subscribe to the channel to stay up to date. Also likes, algorithm bait. Alright? Okay, till next time, bye bye!